right. Let's give it a few seconds here. All right, as people are tuning in, we are going to be drawing the numbers here for the Super Farm class and the four-wheel drive class for the Polish Championship coming up here May 19th and 20th, the Track of Holes Hours in Nashville, Illinois. Second annual Polish Championship. And yeah, it's right around the corner, 17 days. We have 11 total classes and shaping up to be a great show. Just finalizing some last minute details. We still have some sponsorships rolling in. So I just had another one come in today. So thank you, H&R AgriPower out of Kentucky. So I'm just getting things here just situated, and then we will kick things off, and we will start drawing numbers here for the Super Farms, and then we will move on to four-wheel drives as well. So we'll actually we'll draw the Super Farm class first for Friday night, and then we will draw the four-wheel drive trucks for Friday night, and then we'll switch over to Saturday, do the Super Farms, and then we'll do the four-wheel drive trucks. Tomorrow, I believe, we will also be doing what classes do we have on tap for tomorrow? I believe we were going to be doing the super stock diesel trucks and then the modified minis. So those two classes will be drawn tomorrow, and then next week, probably Tuesday, we're going to do the light super stock tractors and the super stock diesel tractors, and then we will do pro stock tractors and modifieds and semis probably on Thursday. We still have a couple kind of just stragglers there in the modified class and semis. So if we have to add some afterwards, we will. We won't go live on that, but we will add those in as need be. But as of right now, things are shaping up. Last year, I know we had a lot of parts issues, and with just the weather, the farming wasn't the greatest, and the farming, especially down in the Nashville, Illinois area, is going very well, considerably well compared to last year. So things are shaping up to be, better for the folks down down in that area. And honestly, just across the whole Midwest has been a better year than last year, and definitely a lot better situation here with parts. Still a few that are unable to get some. I'm sure you guys saw the post with Esin Lane unable to come with the 460 light super stock tractor, but he still plans to be there with Redline Fever. So enough of me yakking. We're going to get started here. Just make sure I've got paper in the printer, and I'm going to share out my screen. So the way that this works, I'll kind of go over this a little bit as well for you guys. I'm going to share my screen here. So what I do is I copy in all the competitors in the Super Farm class, and just to even make it more random than it already is, we're going to randomize this 5 times, and then we'll just go in that order for the class and how we're going to draw the numbers. So first thing here is I'm just going to randomize it, and then I'll kind of give you the details on how everything works with actually drawing the numbers. So right here, you can see the order. So Don Slom will be the first one that we draw, and then we'll go to Gary Shabink, Brooke Ferris, and just so on and so forth until we fill out that class. And then I'm going to pull up Friday night, and I'm actually going to grab this again. So I'll have this over here. So this is the Friday night lineup sheet, and you can see already we have the 85 Limited Pros and 95 Limited Pros that we did last week. And then we'll move on here to Super Farm. So Super Farm is going to be on Friday night. They will be the second class on the pit side. That's the announcer tower side as well. And then on Saturday, they will be the first class on the grandstand side. That would be the entrance toward the track and the gate area. So what we will do is, so when I click on entry form, this form will pop up. I can put in the class, and then I can put in the driver. So I'll put in Don Slama. They'll fill in this information, and then there is numbers from 1 to 1,000. If the number has already been picked from a different class, like the 85 Limited Pros, that number will not be available. But then when you click enter and print here, it'll randomize and it'll randomly select one of those numbers between 1 and 1,000. And we'll go through all 10 and then we will sort by the numbers, and that will be our lineup. So Don pulls a 303. So we do it live like this. One, it's a little bit more interaction for us being able to just do something a little bit different. Nobody else, I don't think, draws numbers live like this. And then on top of that, gives the drivers to be able to see us pull their numbers live and show that we're not trying to favor anybody in any way. So this is all randomized and everything is literally done on live stream. So we can't try to pull any strings for anybody or play favorites. It's all 100% random. So next we will go to Gary Shavink. Gary pulls 376. And 376. The next driver will be Brooke Ferris and the Absolutely Nuts out of Addison, Michigan. Pulls 227. So the Super Farm class is really going to be a absolute stellar class. We have literally some of the best tractors in the country, some of the top points champions, past champions, and it's going to be an awesome class to watch. So definitely got a lot of feedback on the surveys, and this was one of those classes that we got a lot of feedback on. So 722 here for Brian Barman. He's out of Wisconsin. And there we go, 722. And then we will go to Jeremy Roberts and the Wicked Whitetail. And he pulls 73. There it is, 73. Next up, we have the three-time defending PPL champion, Josh Miley, and the high maintenance tractor, and he pulls 122. And there you have it. Next up on the list is going to be, not sure who's driving, but we have Russ registered, and he pulls 845. Again, any of these competitors switch drivers. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, again, the tractor or truck. So 845 there. And then we have Shane Masson and the Thumpin' Pumpkin. He pulls 72. There it is, 72. Next up, we have Dave Whalen and My Last Excuse. Tractor out of Michigan, 291. $291. And the last one in the class is going to be Ryan Anderson in the Checking Out, Hoopeston, Illinois. Hoopeston may be spelled wrong there. And you pulled what? Was that 909? Is that what I saw? Yep. So 909. If I'm not mistaken, that will be the last hook in the class. We'll zoom this in here for you guys and we will sort it. And that is going to be your lineup. Pretty remarkable that two numbers back to back like that. 72 and 73. All right. So I'm going to zoom back out here. And I'm going to pull this back over. We're going to go to four-wheel drives. So we'll randomize this 5 times. And that will be the order that we're going to draw them in for Friday night. So this is going to be the order. And we will get moving along here. So first one up going to be Larry Durrell, the Punisher. Came off his best season by far. 632. Had a stellar performance at the World Series of Pulling at the Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio this last summer. 632. Oops. And we'll move the next four-wheel drive is going to be the defending champion with the PPL, the Midnight Rider of Jim Bosch. Just sorting some things out. So 504. Our next competitor is Justin Grace, the Justin Time Tractor. 901. There you have it. Oops. All right. Lane Thornton, the Thumper Truck. And your Outlaw competitors. $988. Or $388, excuse me. Your NTPA champion, Jake Zaring, and the rule number 19, 764. We move on. We go to Harry Hagdorn and the Gunpowder and Lead. 230. Another one of those tough running PPL trucks. $230. We have Graham Young, and the Renegade out of Versailles, Kentucky, $358. There you have it. And Carmen Foster, the Foster Child, $742. And we move on to another Outlaw truck, and that is Eric Claypool and Risky Business. $592. There we go. And the last truck in the class coming from Texas, and that is Charlie Hines in the Running Wild Texas style. 926. There we go. So that is your class for Friday night. And we will zoom this in and sort draw. So kicking it off on Friday night will be Terry Hagdorn, followed by Graham Young, Lane Thornton. Rounded out with Justin Grace and Charlie Hines. And the four-wheel drive trucks will be competing on Friday night. They will be last class on the pit side track or the announcer side track. And then they will be the sixth class, the fifth class on Saturday on the pit side track. So the second to last class. You can find that information all right here on our website. If you just click under the event info tab, you will find the class polling order right here. All right, so now we will move on to Saturday night. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to randomize this till it says 10 here, do it 5 more times, and we will pull or draw the numbers for Saturday. So we will do it in this order this time. Ryan Anderson, Brooke Ferris, Dave Whalen, Russ Freeze, Jeremy Roberts, Brian Barman, Don Slama, Shane Maston, Josh Miley, and Gary Shabink. Again, it's going to be a awesome class. Both these classes are going to be fun to watch. Actually, both these classes are going to kind of run in 2 different rules, heads up. So with the Super Farms, it is a little bit different because PPL allows for a intercooler while NTPA does not. So we are running them heads up against each other. The intercooled tractors are going to run at 9,300. The non-intercooled are going to run at 95. So that's something that Clint does in the indoor track, and it seems to work very well. And so we're going to give that a shot. And then with the four-wheel drive trucks, I believe PPL and Outlaws both allow unlimited cubic inches, but you must swing a stock crank. NTPA is limited at 650 cubic inches. All right, so we will pull this over here, and we will get drawn for Saturday. Ryan Anderson, checking out. 188. And 188. Next, we go to Brooke Ferris. Absolutely nuts. 919. So now that we're on Saturday, the numbers reset other than the 85 and 95 limited pros. Obviously, that already drew their numbers. So Dave Whalen is next here with My Last Excuse. Old 935. 935. We go to Russ Freeze. Beard Tracks out of Manchester, Tennessee, 839. So drawing some high numbers here this time around. First time on Friday night, it seemed to be a little bit lower with the numbers, but 839 here. It's going to be for the Freeze family. We'll move on to Jeremy Roberts, the Wicked Whitetail, and he pulls a 512. There we go. And moving on, Brian Barman and the Hooked Up 374. Our next tractor is going to be Mr. Don Slama, promoter of the Hillsborough Charity Tractor Pull in Hillsborough, Wisconsin, a PPL Champions Tour event. That is August 11th and 12th this year. And 550 is what he draws. Shane Maston, the Thumpin' Pumpkin, draws 325. $325. Josh Miley. High maintenance. Again, your PPL 3-time defending champion. Hole 660. And last but not least is going to be Gary Shavink. Out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin. He was your NTPA champion this year at 292. And there you have it. So for the Super Farm class on Saturday night, here is your lineup. Ryan Anderson will be first hook, Gary Shavink second, Shane Maston third, Brian Barman, Jeremy Roberts, Don Slama, Josh Miley, Russ Freeze, Brooke Ferris, and Dave Whalen. Paper here. Okay. We will zoom out of here. Okay. So now we will go to the 4-wheel drives for Saturday night. We'll get this randomized at 10 times. And that's how we're going to draw. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, let's get to it. So first up is going to be Graham Young in the Renegade truck. He pulls a 677. Next, we have Lane Thornton and the Thumper, truck out of Iowa, 747. Go to Eric Claypool, Macon, Missouri, the Risky Business at 928. And we have a Charlie Hines, Running Wild Texas Style, 209. Carmen Foster. I think I didn't do it right. Yep, here. For some reason, I felt like I already did her. So we will go Carmen Foster at 110. And Terry Higdorn. Gunpowder and Lead. Another truck out of Missouri, 477. Larry Durrell, the Punisher out of Ohio, 76. Justin Grace, just in time. Last year was his full year out with his truck, 120. All right, going to Jim Bosch, champion, holes 925. Big number there. We are going to wrap things up here in the four-wheel drive truck class with rule number 19, Jake Zaring. And there you go, 780 for him. We will, oh, that's not what I wanted. We will sort this class here. And there is your lineup. It's going to be Larry Jarrell, Carmen Foster, Justin Grace, Charlie Hines, Terry Hagdorn, Graham Young, Lane Thornton, Jake Zarin, Jim Bosch, and Eric Claypool. And while we do that, I'm going to get the lineups posted. So let's save both of these. And I'm going to go over the information here of the Polaris Championship, but I want to get the lineups posted here and show you guys quick. So we're going to do that. So if you go to our website here under lineups, you will find the updated lineup sheet. So you can see Super Farms are now on here, as well as four-wheel drives for Friday night. And I'm going to get Saturday nights up here quick too. These are it's pretty instantaneously the way that I have this. So then Super Farms here and four-wheel drives. So if you guys don't know, I'm just running a script. Makes it pretty simple for me to get this uploaded. So going over the information here for the Polaris Championship. Again, it's May 19th and 20th at the Track of Holes hours in Nashville, Illinois. 6 p.m. both nights. The gates open at noon both days, so please come out early. Interact with the Polars. Get up and close and personal with these vehicles. I know a lot of you guys like doing that. The Polars enjoy it as well. Bring the kids. As Saturday, there will be a kids zone with a bounce house. The Raminator truck will be there, the monster truck, and will be on display, so you can take pictures of that. In the kids zone area, there's also going to be some like ice cream and slushies, snow cone, things like that. Still working on a kiddie tractor pull or pedal pull. We're not sure if that's going to happen or not. Still trying to make something work with it, but we'll definitely release those details if it does. The Raminator truck, we're going to actually try to hook to the sled as well, both nights. So we're going to try to do that. We've been talking with the owners of the Raminator, and they're for it. So we will see what we can do, and hopefully we can make that happen, make something a little bit unique there. Admission is $20 each night. That's ages 11 and up. Kids are 10 and under are free. That is, again, both nights. There's no weekend package, and there are no advanced ticket sales. There's plenty of seating there, so we don't have a need or feel that we have a need to do advanced ticket sales. The live stream is $25 each night, or it's $40 for the weekend for a weekend package. You can click here to get the live stream, and once you come here, just scroll down, and you can choose Friday night, Saturday night or weekend package, and then fill out your information. That tab is also right here to take you to the live stream to get tickets. But going back to that information, obviously the classes that we have is 85 limited pro stocks, 95 limited pro stocks, super farm tractors, pro stock tractors, diesel super stock tractors, light super stock tractors, four-wheel drive trucks, super stock diesel trucks, modified mini tractors, modified tractors, and super semis. If you want to see who's competing in those classes, you can just click here, and you can click on what class that you want. So say you want to see who's in the diesel supers, you can come in here and get the basic information on them. We do have one more in that class that we should be filling here, hopefully by the end of the week. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's information on those classes. Both classes hook both nights. We determine a winner by combining the lowest combined distances from both nights. So if you take a second place and a fifth place, you have 7 points. Say that's the lowest number, then you are going to be the overall weekend winner, and you are going to be the champion for the weekend. Again, this is the class polling order. We will have merchandise for sale on site. These prices, we believe, are going to stay the same, but we aren't 100% sure. We should be getting the merchandise here shortly, so we'll know exactly how much it will be. The pits are open with the purchase of the event ticket. So once you get purchase to get into the grandstands, you can roam the pits just like most other events do, and we encourage you to do that. Again, there will be 2 tracks. Camping is available on site. We highly recommend you reach out to us so we know how many people are coming, because it is limited. It is primitive camping, so there are no electrical hookups or water hookups. So please be mindful of that. If you do want to camp outside of the pit area, because essentially you're in the pits, just kind of segregated off from the pullers. There is a campground about a couple miles south of Nashville at a state park. So if you want to do that, you can also look into that. If you click on the lodging, you can go through and find some of the hotels in the area. We're trying to keep this updated with ones that are full. So just click that lodging tab for more information. And if you click on camping here, you can get the rundown of when you can show up. So for spectators, you can start Thursday. And campers can be brought in earlier, but we just aren't allowing spectators to stay there until Thursday. Again, we have roughly 150. We don't know exactly how many until we start filling up, and then we actually will know how many. And yeah, that's kind of just the basic rundown. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors. So I'm going to display our sponsors here. We're still taking more sponsorship as well. So if anybody wants to sponsor or knows anybody, they can just come out here and fill out the form and send it in, or they can reach out to us specifically or fill out the online form. But we're just going to go through here quick. 618 Motorsports, Acelo Racewear, Egg Protect One, Max, Adventure, Waymire Seed, Apex Turbo, Beer Money Polling Team, Big St. Charles Motorsports, Built Diesel Mafia, Cap Bros Motorsports, Sempico Lubricants, Chaos Fabrication, Corsa Data Acquisitions, DeKalb Asgrow Seeds, Jonathan Snyder, Eli Lisk, Fair Valley Performance, Farm Credit Illinois, Gateway Seed, Esden Bartling, GMR Motorsports, Holzauer Pro Motorsports, H&R Ager Power, HD Specialties, Heritage Iron Magazine, Holzauer Auto Motorsports Group, Hooked Up Poland Productions, Lutz Agency, Hurricane Specialized, Joe Bush Egg Repair, Kawasaki Parts Warehouse, Kuzak Family, Miley Machine and Fabrications, Schultz Mortgage Team, Modern Machine and Tool, Prescription Tillage Technology, Pro Polar Tires, Salenby Performance, SRMD Solutions, St. Charles Harley Davidson, Super Clean, The Track of Holzauers, and Worley Custom Fabrication. Again, thank you to all those sponsors for hopping on board this year and helping us support this event. Without them, we couldn't do it. We also really want to give a huge shout out to Prescription Tillage Technology. They've jumped on as the title sponsor for 2023. So kudos to them for doing that. We truly appreciate it, and definitely check them out as they have a lot of cool technology when it comes to tillage and different things like that. I'm not in that field, so don't quote me on what they exactly do. You can easily come on here and go to the sponsors and click on. You will go down here. You can just maybe didn't look there, but there should be a link. I'm gonna have to fix that because obviously it doesn't work there. Thanks, Schultz, for pointing that.
Hey, buddy.
So yeah, just wrapping up here and just kind of going over the last bit and our sponsorship, and yeah, still cracking away at it. We still have lots of opportunity for more sponsorship because at this point, every dollar does go back into the purse. We have covered our event costs. And yeah, and one of the other things I forgot to mention is we have a $500 bonus for Friday night as well for all the winners. So
that's awesome.
So thank you, Loose Agency, for that. And then they also sponsored the 85 Limited Pro Stocks and the 95 Limited Pro Stocks. And then they Chaos Fabrication has sponsored the Pro Stock tractors. So we're rocking and rolling here now. 17 days away, and it's going to be here well before we know it.
Talked to Brad Holzauer today, Brent, on my way home from Janesville, and he's really excited just because the farmers are a lot farther ahead this time of year down there. Yep. And he just feels like there's more of a buzz about the event, like with it being year 2.
Yep, I agree. I feel like just it's more out there on social media, and it's more people know about it. I think one of the big things, too, that we kind of targeted a little bit more is more of the local area. I mean, we did more with local radio stations, put up more billboards, get more posters out there, just different things like that, and just trying to really target the local area because that's where we can really gain a lot more. Obviously, I think we did pretty well with the hardcore, like the diehard fans, but with more of the just let's go out and do something for the weekend. That's kind of the audience that we need to target a little bit harder, and that's the local crowd. And I think we've done better this year, and hopefully it reflects it.
Well, I think if you're a promoter, and in this particular instance, we are. Not everybody's just on social media. Your hardcore, our hardcore followers, the polling they watch, Let's Throw Polling every Monday night, or they, they follow the Pollers Championship Facebook page or Instagram or whatever. But the casual fan may not, like, I love going to truck and tractor pulls, but they don't, delve into it like we do on a daily basis.
Yep.
We need all that to fill the stands.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, and that's where we're still doing a big sponsorship push here at the end too, because I think the bigger the purse that we have, if we can say, we're Mike Connie, we can say, yeah, 10,000 to win each class. I think it gives it that much more of a prestige to the event, and so we're definitely pushing for that. And that's where we say the more sponsorship dollars that we have at this point, that's just all going right back into the purse. And I've crunched the numbers, and I know what it takes to get to 10,000. And in year 5, I don't think it's unrealistic. We just have to, if we keep growing our sponsorship and we keeping more live streams sold every year, more people attend every year, $10,000 is not out of the picture here within 5 years. So
yeah, our goal is to make this a destination pool. We truly believe we will, and that's not being cocky. With the level of entertainment we're bringing in, with the support of the sponsorship we have, and then Mr. Holzauer with the facility willing to upgrade it, Brent. If Brad said to me today, I want to run out of parking spots, Jason. I want that problem.
Yep.
I'm like, I want that problem too.
And I was talking to Shane Hunt about that. Obviously, he was there last year.
Yep.
And we're talking about if we get big enough, can we add more classes? Because do we have enough room for parking? Do we have and so those are questions that we hope we have to face in the future.
Yeah, we're not there yet, but we hope we have to.
And yeah, and as you mentioned, Brad is willing to put money into this event and into his facility to make it a top-notch.
He loves pulling. He loves pulling, and he wants to see the biggest stuff there.
He has plans to put big permanent bleachers on the other side of the track, just like he's got on the grandstand south or the east side. And so the pit side, he wants to put permanent bleachers over there, but we have to fill it up a little bit more for him to be able to, justify it, in the current state. So we're hoping that, this is the year that we really pack the place and, we can justify the Brad that we need more seating, and it's worth that investment. And I mean, you go down there and you're going to have it's going to be a hell of a time. I mean, these classes are last year. I said it before. I was excited for last year with the, who we had. And this year I'm even more excited. I mean, we have some even bigger names this year than we did last year. And we still mixing it up with a lot of national competitors, but then we still have some of those, some of the regional and state competitors that were able to get voted in, and, they're just as good. They just don't travel as much.
Right. And that's where, again, the diehard fan understands that, but the common fan may not. If they think, I don't run this big tour. There's local pullers that stay closer to home and maybe run with the state association that just can't get away and run a big, and be gone for 3 or 4 days at a time.
I always say that. I mean, just, I run with the WTPA and I work for them.
Yep.
Light super stock class. That's like a Grand National hook every weekend. I mean, you got Picklers, you got Marty Nelson, who should be back this year. You got Ken Witt, you got Kevin Lynn, you got Gary Hagel, you got Hulls. I mean,
yep.
And you had Dagenhart, but now you're going to have Esden Lane in the class.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll even say it for like our mini rod class too. I mean, 2021, 3 of the 5 tractors went and won a national event in 2021.
It's awesome.
And they weren't even Grand National competitors. So
that just shows you how good it is.
Yep. And so that's what's unique about our event. We have the opportunity to be able to have some of those competitors be able to have a chance to come play with the big dogs. And it's not a points event. And they have the opportunity it's like a giant testing tune against the best competitors to also try to take home some big money, hopefully.
Yeah, because everybody's coming out with their new tunes for this season. We know we're a week or two like this. We picked this date because somebody says, "How do you guys pick your date?" And I was like, "Well, we want to be as close as we can to the national schedule starting, but but not on top of it. We don't want to be on top of a big outlaw NTPA or a pro polling league hook."
Yep, it came down. It's either got to be before the point season or after. And if it's after, well, 1, you're going to run into a lot of people being broken, and 2, when talking to farmers, they would rather do it during planting season than during harvest.
Yep.
And so we decided before, and then we wanted to be as late as possible before the start of the season. Just so that, the farmers can get crops in, people can get their vehicles together. So that's the reason behind choosing that date.
Holman's had made it, but they turned it down. Right?
So Holman's, they were initially invited and they declined for this year. But that's not to say that, they finish in the top 2 or 3. We have 4-wheel drives again next year and they get another invite and decide to take it or get voted in. So again, that's another thing that we just do. It's you're going to see different competitors every year.
Yep.
Not going to be the same ones. It's going to be kind of going off just between years with voting. I mean, there was obviously some of your big names were definitely up there, but it's, a couple of the classes, there are a lot of people that didn't do well in 2022 for fan voting, did really well in 2023. And now they're in the event this year. But yeah, I'm excited. There's still a lot of work to get done between now and May 19th, but I'll just say it's going to be the place to be. If you're not in Nashville, Illinois, you're going to miss out unless you buy the live stream.
Exactly. And again, every dollar from the live stream and the gate goes back to the pullers. I hope we made that very, very clear. Mm-hmm. I feel like we say it all the time, but not everybody sees every video or every post or, it's important to let everybody know that. So, and that was our intention when we came up with this idea in 2021 is like the pullers deserve more money. We're going to do a non-sanctioned event and we're going to give it all back to the pullers. And again, thank you, Mr. Holzhauer, for giving us this facility and the support to have our back because he covered our ass last year.
Yep. So. Yeah. And I think with our event just being so unique this year specifically, having conversations with potential sponsors. I mean, it was a little bit easier because now that we have one event under our belt, it's a little bit more to talk about.
Oh, you guys did this
and just different things like that. But a lot of these potential sponsors I talked to, I mean, we are a unique event and we have so many eyeballs on our event that, I mean, it's a little bit easier to sell sponsorship. And so, and they like the idea that we're giving all the money back to the pullers and we're not trying to stuff our own pockets.
Right.
We don't take a single dime. Last year we lost money. We'll say that flat out. I mean, luckily we had somebody like Brad behind us, but this year we're able to cover everything. We were still able to pay out $127,000 in purse. And this year I would love to double that.
And yes, some of it's puller, it's a $500 entry fee. Some of the pullers have said, let's raise the entry fee. Let's really get this up. I think as time goes on, Brent, a lot of those can come into play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember talking to Brett Berg. He called me, I think, the next day after we announced this. And he was obviously, the Grand National champion. So he's getting an automatic invite. And so he called me and he's just like, I will do it for $2,500. He's just like, I think what you guys are doing is what this sport needs. And that's kind of what we, how we looked at it is
I'm gonna let
how
my
do we raise the stakes? All right. But yeah, how do we raise the stakes? And this is one way that we're hoping to do it. And we're thinking outside the box. It's something that never was done before. We didn't know how it was going to get perceived. We didn't know how things were going to go for the first year. But we definitely learned. And again, that's, we brought in the Pro Pulling League this year as well to help us out. They are just going to logistically make things a lot better, which was a nightmare for us trying to figure out last year, and let them deal with it that they deal with at every event all summer long, and they work with each other all summer long. And then obviously the facility itself, I mean, we made some changes around there. That's going to make things just a little bit easier with flow of traffic and staging and things like that. Just kind of hopefully we can get everybody staged well in advance before the show starts, and we just can just bang things out and be done in that 4-hour time frame, be done by 10 p.m. and we can kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy it a little bit. Not be done by midnight and then have to do some cleanup, and then you're in bed at 2-3 in the morning and up at 8-9 o'clock again and
tired as hell
back at the track. And so
it's spot on. It's Brad's super excited. The pullers are excited. Like I said, the Mother Nature's been cooperating with the spring a little bit more, so makes you feel better about everything. Brent.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just hoping that it's nice out and the farmers are out of the field and they can come enjoy an event for the weekend. And
and then where we're at, we talked about this last time with Let's Grow Pulling, but it's not diesel supers, 4-engine mod or the big mods, the big semis. These are not classes you normally see in Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
This is a chance for you guys to see a national event in your backyard.
Yep, and you're still going to see local competitors. I mean, we still have the 85 Linted Pros. That's got some local competitors. We still have a couple in the 95. But yeah, you're going to see a lot. I mean, you're going to see all sorts of competitors. There's competitors that I haven't seen yet, and that's what I'm excited about. Is with this event is there's a lot of competitors that, again, they just don't travel. They just like staying close to home. But something like this before the season starts, get out the tester equipment. I mean, it's an opportunity for them, and they're willing to do it at this time. So that's one of those competitors like Jesse Warren. I've never got to see him pull before, so I'm looking forward to that. Like Jaden Lippman is going to be her first time driving outdoors or not outdoors, but in competition. Lindsay Campbell will be her first time in competition outdoors on a full-size track. So it's going to be
awesome.
fun. And we still have a couple competitors, like I said, that will be hopefully getting registered here soon. Light Super Ryan Henley he's now registered in the Light Super Stock class. He took Esden Lane's 460 spot. And then Wildman should be registering. They just confirmed it with us today that they're verbally committed, and that they will be registering with both Die Hard Deer and Straight Out Line, the Kloss tractor.
Oh, yeah.
So both those tractors will be taking the last 2 spots in the Pro Stock class. And then Diesel Supers, we like to keep the Diesel Supers a little bit hidden until they're registered. But it's that class is going to be a pretty awesome class.
Off the chain.
Yeah. And the mods, hopefully we should have one or two, I think, potentially that will be registering. That's probably the class that's the hardest this year. There's a couple that sold, some that sold their motors and having new ones built. Some that are just kind of, well, a lot of them are farmers. And then some of them that they just have other obligations or things going on. So we're hoping to fill the class. There's still potential that we do. But just so everyone's aware that class might not be full. Same with the semis, but I think semis will have at least 6.
Okay.
So
yeah, Island Thorpe hasn't called me back yet. So
yeah, and that's fine. Like I said, I've been keeping in contact with a lot of them, and there's a lot of them that would like to go. They just parts. That class is a parts class. They're waiting on stuff.
It's tough, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
But if once this gets more and more established every year, guys are gonna know. Guys and gals like, hey, I got to get my stuff ready.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I want to try to do a better job myself next year. I thought I did, and I think, and honestly, I mean, we just waited too long for giving some competitors. We waited too long, so it didn't give other competitors an opportunity. So it's something that we're just learning, and how long we need to give some of our promoter choices to commit to us and before moving on. So, but I mean, there's only one way to learn, and it's just by doing it.
Yep.
So,
and you're doing it.
Don't forget about Running Bear. You're talking about Running Bear, like Running Bear, Jeff Hurt, or are you talking about Running Bear as in the twin engine mod? Because I don't believe he runs a triple. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, and I hope everybody can, make it. And if not, tune into the live stream. And the other thing that you can do to help us is just share social media postings. I mean, that's just goes a long way. If everybody shares it that sees it, I mean, it would go all over the place, and get more eyeballs onto it. And so if you see one of our posts, we encourage you to do that, but you don't have to. Obviously, we're not going to force you to do it.
We can't put a gun to your head.
No,
even though we should.
We would appreciate it if you could do that. I mean,
yeah.
And again, more people that see it, the more potential that we have to get some more money back into the pullers' pockets, and that's all we're trying to do.
That's what it's all about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, again, if anybody has any sponsors that might be interested, or potential sponsors, please let us know. And then tomorrow we will be doing the super stock diesel trucks and the modified minis. So we'll be drawing those numbers. Planning to do that at 7 p.m. as we're going to have a TPC meeting then at 8. And we're going to make sure we have our ducks in a row so that you guys can enjoy an awesome show.
Well said. Well said.
Anything else there, Schultz?
I don't think so. I think you covered it all very, very well last night and tonight. It was fun last night having Jeff Hurt and Sydney Summers and Doug Meisinger on.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I know you guys keep playing up the whole Doug versus Travis, but I don't know. There's some other bullets in there that might make things a little bit interesting.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I love Diesel Supers. If you guys haven't seen them, it's the time to go. It's going to be one of the best classes put together because it's hard to get 10 at any hook throughout the NTPA season or Outlaw season at any event. Usually Toma and Bowling Green are the only two that you'll see more than 10. So if you can, definitely recommend making it up to Nashville, Illinois. The track of holes hours, May 19th to 20th, 6 p.m. Both nights.
Thanks for watching, everybody.